Hey, you guys got it right. It's a pawpaw tree. That big teardrop leaf, that's a pawpaw tree, okay? Now, what do pawpaws look like? Looks like a pregnant banana. This one is not a wild pawpaw from that tree. This one is actually a orchard-grown pawpaw. That's right, they're starting to grow pawpaws in orchards. Matter of fact, they have been since this country was developed. Imagine that. Since we started out, did you know that back at Monticello they were growing pawpaws in orchards for food? Awesome. Okay, so you can eat it. How do you eat it? Well, a wild pawpaw mostly looks like this. Think of this and a cross between a pregnant banana. A banana with a couple of big bumps in it. That's what a wild pawpaw looks like. They can be smaller in size. Think of it as a more compact version. But these are two different orchard-grown pawpaws from the same orchard, but different trees, different kinds of pawpaws. Did you say different kinds of pawpaws? That's right. That's right. Stick with me here. Stick with me. So I went and saw Ron, who is the president of the Ohio, let me make sure I get this right now. He's the president of the Ohio Pawpaw Growers Association. And he graciously invited me to his house today. And I went over there, and he's so busy right now because this is pawpaw picking season. And from about 2 weeks ago and for the next 4 weeks, they're going to be picking pawpaws like madmen. Okay? Well, that's great. That's wonderful. And right now, if you go out in the wilds and you come across wild pawpaws, and there may be some in your area, right now in Ohio, it is picking season for the pawpaws. Down here, I'm just north of Cincinnati, so that's where I'm at. And it is our time. They are ripe, and it's time to get them, and to get them good. So, if you go to ohiopawpaw.com, ohiopawpaw.com, you can get a chart on the perfect picking for pawpaws. How to tell that fruit is ripe, when to pick it, everything else right here. Now that goes for other places in the country. It just doesn't tell you that at this point in time it's ripe in Ohio. It tells you how to find out if the pawpaw is ripe, which can be important. Now, ripening. Say you come across a pawpaw that's not quite ripe. How do you know? Well, Ron's wife put together a ripening chart. I mean, this guy's with it, isn't he? There had to be at least a couple hundred pawpaw trees on his property by his house, and that's not even the farm. Okay? And we walked around, we talked, we looked, he clued me in on quite a few things. Because you guys know I'm just into wild edibles. That's my biggie right there, you know. Bushcraft survival, wild edibles, things like that. I had no idea. I had no idea. You know, they had pawpaws back in colonial times, you know, and we're growing them. Monticello. That was eye-opening. I didn't know that. Okay, so our forefathers knew about this fruit. Now here's something. This is listed as a tropical plant. Well, I'm in Ohio, right? It's listed as a tropical plant in the United States. It grows from southern Canada, southern Alberta, somewhere around there in Canada, all the way down into Mississippi. It does like some cold every once in a while. Fantabulous. It grows in a whole bunch of states. Wild. So once you get to identify the pawpaw tree, and you can find them in your state, oh, you're in some luck. You're in some big luck. Because not only is it just edible, and it tastes wonderful, it's kind of a cross between a banana and a mango. And some people think with a little cantaloupe thrown in, which a little cantaloupe in the morning is never a bad thing. But anyway, you have that thrown in that way, and it's really nice. Ron does ask one thing: don't eat the skin. Okay, the skin can have a bitter or an off taste. So what you should do is cut it open and eat down inside there and eat the goodies out of it and all that. Throw the seeds out and go that way. You can plant the seeds. You know, if it's going to grow, it's going to grow. I don't know. But the idea of the seeds is to keep them moist. Okay, so now why is it so impressive that we are domesticating, kind of domesticating, the pawpaw tree? Well, because they grow in different areas of the United States and Canada, it's like a different variety. think of it like an apple. It's going to have a little bit of different flavor over here, a little bit of different flavor over there, and then as they work their scientific magic with it, the seeds get smaller, the fruit gets bigger, it tastes a little more intense. Things go on. They are starting out, same as they did years ago, with all food products that we eat. They work on getting them and making them better. But Ron is doing it the way that it should be done. He is pollinating these trees and working these things back and forth so that they're not putting fancy chemicals and stuff to these plants. Alright? They're doing it the natural way. They're doing it the correct way. So someday you may find pawpaws in your local market, and that would be a wonderful thing. Cross between a banana and a mango, and it tastes so good. Oh man. Now what do they do with these? Well, they don't ship real well. Okay, they bruise easy right now. And shipping is very expensive. Ooh, fighting off the biting bugs here. Got mosquitoes and stuff flying around. Well, they don't ship real well, so what happens is they use the pulp a lot. They make all kinds of recipes. You can go on the website, you can go to ohiopawpaw.com, and he's got recipes on there and all kinds of great things, and it's just a wonderful site, very informative. Now, it's going to be updated shortly. I talked to him today, and his daughter's helping out with all the picking and all the other goodies, so they're going to be working on a website here in just a little while, but it needs to be updated, and he knows that, and there's going to be even more on there. All right? He has agreed to do an interview with me, and so we're going to shoot for that, hopefully. I've got some other plans. I might be able to get him on a different show, and I'm going to do some stuff with him that way. Now, as far as the pawpaws go, they make pawpaw chipotle, pawpaw beer, and wine. All kinds of different recipes and pies and other goodies you can get it in. Check the labels on stuff. You'd be surprised. There might be pawpaw and a couple other goodies there. Instead of mango, it might actually be pawpaw. Made in the United States. Hey, can't beat that now, can you? So, a lot of good things going on there. A lot of wonderful physical work with the pawpaws that these people are working on, and not just here in Ohio. Ron's a great guy, but not just here in Ohio. All over the United States, there's a collective of people trying to get the pawpaw back into a real food here in the United States that's from here and for us, which is a good thing. You know, if we can come up with another food item to really put out there that is mainstream, that's what they're shooting for. So keep your eyes open for those pawpaw trees. If you can find a wild one, remember, it looks like a banana, kindish, with a couple of big bumps in it for the wild ones. And some of these domesticated ones, now I've seen some on the trees and he wouldn't give me. I tried to get them off of him, but you know, they're worth a couple of bucks for the other stuff they use them for. And that. Oh, soap. That's right, they put pawpaws in soap. Some of the other things, they got pawpaws bigger than my hands. Great big pawpaws. Okay? Little small ones, great big ones, use the stuff out of here. Oh, good, smells so good. I might have to film myself eating one just to aggravate y'all. Alright, so now you know, yes, it was a pawpaw tree. Check out ohiopawpaw.com. Get some recipes off there. Keep your eyes open. Look around for things. Kind of a cross between a banana and a mango. Smells so good right now. If you can go out and find one, you can get some trees and some saplings. Hey, check around. They actually sell trees and saplings too on the internet. Put one in the yard. Hey, if you have one in your yard, you can make soap and you can make chipotle sauce and you can make all kinds of other stuff out of there, beer and wine, just like everybody else is doing. You can have those things right there in your house. And, I mean, look at the leaves. For a survival kind of situation, leaves are pretty good. That's a good sized leaf. That's a pretty good sized leaf, and this is a very small tree. So, I mean, you know, if it came down to it, hanging that'd shed some water, no doubt about it. So, pawpaw tree has many uses. I'll see you around.